From the 7 Storm Team, your first alert weather with meteorologist Ben Terry.
Okay, we've been talking a lot about the river flooding along the Mermentau. We want to get to our friends, though, along the Calcasieu, because we're going to see some pretty significant rises here. In fact, at Oakdale, we'll get that latest stage hopefully later this morning. It's expected to rise to 15 feet by this afternoon, then drop back below flood stage, which is 12 feet by Thursday. So, again, that's going to be a pretty quick rise there along the river. Oberlin, 5.82 feet is that current stage. It's expected to rise to 19 feet by Thursday. That is about 6 feet above flood stage, but that's about 4 feet below where we were back in March of this year. If you remember those floods then, and that's not going to be quite as high, but still cause some issues. Kinder expected to rise to 18 feet by Saturday. That is going to be at about 2 feet above flood stage for Kinder, so some issues there. Currently, though, our rivers at this point still below flood stage. No issues expected at Old Town Bay other than some minor flooding along Goss Ferry Road, expected to rise to 4.7. It's sitting just slightly above flood stage this morning at 4.2 feet. Here's a look at the South Lake Charles Skycam traffic along Cove Lane and I-210. Not having any issues there, as right now we're at 76 degrees, mid-70s across the entire state. 74 now DeRidder, 75 in Jennings. Radar showing some of those showers still moving up along the Cameron coastline from Grand Chenier northward, just to the west of Lowry, up towards the Bell City Hayes area. A little bit of rain maybe for some folks doing some early morning evacuations from Lake Arthur, heading along 14 as you get into Calcasieu Parish. A little bit of light rain there, but nothing big going on rain-wise. Of course, that front still stalled to our west. What we are looking at, though, as daytime heating warms us back into the 80s, that will combine with that copious amount of tropical moisture in place to really set off another round of downpours at times, which will cause some locally heavy rain, especially for areas west of Lafayette today. That's where those storm chances will be greatest. That includes places like Lake Charles, DeQuincy, DeRidder, up into Vernon Parish, and down into Cameron as well. So we'll look for those storms to taper off into the evening, repeat tomorrow, and the forecast ahead shows, of course, that front stalled to our west, but the pattern change may come this weekend. There will be another front move in. Pattern change meaning that we may see a little bit of a brief reduction in rain, but by the end of the weekend, early next week, rain chances pick back up because there will be a front approaching southwest Louisiana. Looking at the tropics, nothing close to home. Of course, we will keep a close eye on our latest system here, tropical wave way out closer to Africa. Here are the Cape Verde Islands, 70% chance of development over the next 2 days. This could be Fiona, but at this point it is not looking like it will be a Gulf of Mexico threat. We'll keep a check on it, though, but that could be our next named storm on the list there. 88 for the high, scattered thunderstorms, some heavier downpours at times. Your rain chance today is at 80% for tonight. We'll drop back down into the mid-70s. A look at that 7-day forecast shows high rain chances tomorrow and again on Thursday. Not going to go too low on the rain because I think we'll still see a pretty good dose of scattered, especially afternoon showers and storms. And then with that front approaching this weekend, got to keep the rain chances high on into Sunday and Monday with the front in the vicinity. It does keep us out of the 90s, but I think we're to the point now to where we don't want or need, definitely don't need, but to the point where we don't even want any additional rain. Exactly. It's not really going to make the flooding worse, but we just need to dry out.
Dry spell.
Yeah, we'll go back to the 90s. Yeah. All right. If only we had that option. 6:50 now, and a patent